You motherfuckers ready to rumble? What's up? Welcome to the Quarantine Build Off 2020. And we have some special news I'd like to announce. We have Twisted Messes joining in on the build off. He'll be entering in the Advanced Master tier. Shit's about to get real. Secondly, Mass Coils and Mr. Stephanopoulos have free passage from round 2 to round 3. They have bye weeks. They were the top 2 picks. Mass Coils was the top #1 pick. Mr. Stephanopoulos with his wicked build was number 2. They will not have to compete in the next challenge. So for the Advanced Master tier, you guys are going to go into a bracket build off. The beginner intermediate tier will not be in a bracket build off. There's too many of you guys. I think there was 40 or so of you guys, and it's just too much to try to host all on one show. But for the advanced master builders, you guys will be in a bracket. So you can follow along on the bracket. We're using a website that's gonna keep track of everything on there, and that will be linked below. So if you ever question who's up against who and want to see the layout of the bracket, feel free to go down below in the links and pop that open and give it a look yourself. So that makes this bracket a little easier to work with, and also the addition of a legendary builder. We're talking about Twisted Messes himself. He's gonna be in this build off. So I'm blown away. I don't even, that puts a smile from ear to ear on my face. And some of you guys are gonna be able to compete against Twisted Messes himself. For the beginner intermediate tier, 9 of you did not make the cut. Of those 9, 4 of you did not follow the rules and were disqualified. Sorry, but rules are there. There won't be a bracket build off for the beginner intermediate tier. There's too many of you going on. It's just too much to try and host in one show. So the way we have it laid out is we're going to narrow it down to the final round, and there's only 3 of you left. And from those 3 of you that are left, we will determine our winner. I believe next week and the following week and the following week are 8 people to be eliminated from this. Like I said, till we get down to the final 3 builders of the beginner intermediate tier. This week's challenge is the Helix build. It's already been issued to the builders. They're already working on their builds now. Anything that's related to the Helix build, from a Tiger Helix, a Tiger Helix build, which you'll see in my video coming up here, that's what I chose to do. You can do a Helix staple. There's all types of different variants of Helix staples out there. So anything with the Helix presentation, the Helix variants, all are welcome in this, but you must have a Helix in the build. So now that I've announced that Twisted Messes is entering this build off, he will be competing. Homeboy OC will be a judge. We have 2 vape celebrities involved in this, old school builders. These guys are OG builders. These guys are who helped pave the path to what we have today, which is fucking awesome that they're part of this, and I'm stoked, stoked that they're here. So without further ado, let's get down into this and start looking at them builds.
So Marco Alcabosa, he posted a braid, and this looks like it's in a stovetop, double stovetop almost presentation. It's a 5-loop micro Celtic braid. Try to spit all that out at once. And this build is really, really sexy. As you can see here, he's got different angles of it, and really, really nice sharp images of it. He did a really good job in taking the photo here. Take a look at it here, full blast. Full blown. This is a very sexy build. He's got multiple photos, but we're going to keep moving along here. So next up, we have Michael the Old Man Vintner. He's been a longtime member of the Coil Warriors group. He's got a 4-core stagger fused Clapton, and he has a twisted Clapton parallel inside of it. He has it staged, so it's not a 4-wrap twisted wire inside. He has 3 wraps inside, so that'll ramp up faster than the 4-core stagger fused Clapton, and it'll be a staged heating coil. Very nice build, Michael. Let's take another look at another build you got here. So yeah, very, very nice. Moving on to the next. Shane Rice. And I have to say, this is one of my favorite builds of this whole build off. The colors that he has underneath, this is a Suka. This is a Suka staple. He clapped into the core. That was part of the rules. we shouldn't see any exposed core wire. So he put a Clapton over it, and it looks like he used stainless steel 316L. And then he Claptoned over some ribbon wire, and it looks like he used nichrome 80 to Clapton over that. And nichrome 80 isn't going to color as fast as the stainless steel 316L, and he's got that beautiful pink and purple and blue, and just amazing. This build is absolutely amazing. Just absolutely amazing. Look at this. It's just wow, jaw dropping, and it just goes to show the beauty that these coils can offer. Absolutely beautiful, Shane. This one here is a stellar build. I love Sukas. I love them when they're all Claptoned up, and that's what I expected to see out of the Master Tier. Leandro Maeda, if I'm not saying that name right, has put in a Mothership Alien. Beautiful, beautiful work. You can see all the colors he's got pulsed out in it. Just amazing. To take another look at this, you can see inside here, if you look really closely, you see that his core wires are also Claptoned. So it makes this a lot harder to do something like that. And man, he executed it. Very nice job, Leandro. Stuart Tarnas has done a corrugated staggered staple fuse Clapton. Looks like he used 44 gauge, nice tiny wire. He used 44 gauge to fuse over it. 40, it says 40 and 46 gauge for the micro Clapton. Super tiny work, and a lot of time goes into doing this. And when you mess up, if you mess up, you waste a lot of wire. Look closely at his frames where he skip fused. He's got Claptons under there. And that's why I was talking about not skip fusing if you did a stagger, so that way we didn't see exposed core. So he took it upon himself to Clapton that frame, and then put a micro Clapton over the top of that. Just amazing. These builds are not easy builds to do. This Clapton challenge that we have here is absolutely a challenge. Tim Fugati. Take a look at Tim Fugati. It's a Mothership variant. This build is super sexy. Let's take another look at one of his builds here. Taking another look at one of his photos of this. He's got it parallel wrapped. Actually, it looks like he's got the Mothership. He's got the Clapton cores inside. He's got the Mothership as the staged heating of it, and then he's got 4 wraps of the Clapton parallel with it. Very good job there, Mr. Fugati. Then we got Bruno here with a corrugated SSFC that he's micro Claptoned. He did a really good job, and on both sides of this, he's got some staples on each side of this micro Clapton staggered staple fuse Clapton. Even the corrugated ribbon that's inside of this, he has Claptoned as well. Fantastic work. You can look closer here and see that he's got this set up in a mesh RTA, it looks like, and he just made his own mesh coil. Stellar work, man. Stellar work. Deljanin, he has a Staggerton going on here. If you look, he's got 5 core 29 gauge with 39 fused with 39 on the outside he has here. The frame is 29 fused with 38. All micro Claptons are with 36 gauge and 40 gauge. It's a very, very beautiful build. Beautiful colors. It's hard to get the right colors in these. You got to really, really lightly pulse. Low wattage, and it's a slow process to get these reds. You can fly right past these reds super easily. You'll go from the gold colors and right into like the purples. But if you take your time and go super slow, you'll find these reds that start to sneak their way in. And I love getting to them reds. It's always a challenge doing it, and that's always what I try doing. Stellar work, Deljanin. So we have Victor here, Victor Miggs. He did this is a staple framed staggered fuse Clapton. He did this later on. He didn't have time. He put his build in. He put it as a Inception build, and inside of it he put a Staggerton, I believe. Nice job, Victor. And Dylan did this absolutely beautiful build. Specs. He got 3 times staples, 0.3 4-ply. He's got 42 gauge that he fused over it. Then he's got 0.3 that he used as the corrugated wire, and he fused 42 gauge over that. Beautiful build. Let's get to a colored one. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Stunning. Very, very clean. He executed that. He's got 2 frames on the left side, and that interests me when I look at that. And I question, like, why did he do that? But I love it. I don't know if he made his alien decor and it was too big, so he added another frame. But I wouldn't change it. This is a really nice looking build, man. Bravo. Up next we have Bones the Skater, my boy. He is actually on the old build team that I used to be on with Nick Devine. That's the Resistance crew. One hell of a crew over there. Them guys kick ass. And look at this build. Look at the colors that he's got. Just mind blowing. There you go. A closer photo of it. Absolutely beautiful, Bones. Beautiful, beautiful work. And you look inside the skip fuse that he has here. He's got the Clapton frame inside of here. He's got even each individual piece of ribbon that he has on the sides are Claptoned. That kind of blows my mind that he did that. He's got the core of stacked ribbon wire that is Claptoned as well, and then each ply of ribbon that's on the sides, he has those Claptoned as well. Beautiful, beautiful work. It looks like a flavor monster, I can tell you that much. This is a binary build. This right here is a binary. Up next we have Adam Postins, and when he posted this, my jaw dropped. This is definitely one of my favorite builds that have been submitted for this week. Just mind-blowing what he did. And if you look closely, and I'll pop over to another picture, you look closely here. Look inside. He's got Clapton corrugated wire inside of here. And the other core wires on the other side are also Claptoned. It looks like he micro-Claptoned over a core wire and then decored it and laid that in and staged it into the build. This is a beautiful hybrid build. The center build that you're looking at here in the center is, to me, it looks like he has an Enigma that's also stitched, but it's stitched with a micro Clapton as well. And then he parallel fused that with what appears to be a loose hedgehog. So it looks like he put a layer of hedgehog that's not stitched, and then he put a layer of Enigma that's stitched with a micro Clapton as well. That's parallel fused. And if you look at the frames on this alien variant here in the middle, the frames are also Claptoned. Just beautiful work, man. Beautiful work. And this will bring you in just a little bit closer to let you see all the madness that's happening here. You can look in here and you see all that corrugated ribbon wire that's also Claptoned. And then he Claptoned the frames. And he micro Claptoned the alien fuse over it. People call it a mothership. That's what it's known. But well, I just call these a Claptoned alien. Like an alien clapception, if anything. But just beautiful. Look at the colors here. The blues going into the purple, into the orange, into the golds. And then you see the sky blue framed in a Clapton that's in the wrap that's right next to it. Just amazing. Just beautiful, man. I could stare at this stuff for days. Up next we have Hatham. He has an Enigma build here. Really, really nice, sharp looking build. Good job, Hatham. And up next we have Gage DeMello. And he calls this an Inception Slenterbraid Helix Coil. So let's take a better look at it from a different angle here. Look at that. Look at the purples, the golds, the reds, into the violets. He's got that twisted the twisted coil inside that makes this an Inception. That's how an Inception coil is built. You put a smaller coil inside of a bigger coil, and that's known as an Inception presentation. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Up next, my boy Martin. We've known each other for some time. Good job here, Martin. He calls this a micro Clapton stitched hedgehog variation. Looks like he's got the micro Clapton hedgehog, which is an alien variant. It all comes from the Enigma variant, which is all from the alien. They're all in the alien family. He's got it stitched with some ribbon wire. Beautiful build. Beautiful build. Look at that. Look at that thing. Martin's really stepped his game up, and he's definitely been making me proud. I love seeing every post he puts out. I look forward to his posts. Keep it up, Martin. So Simon Day. I was really excited to see him come back to building. It feels like he took a couple of years off of building, and when he told me that he was going to come back and start building again, I was very excited. And now you see why. Look at the work he did. He's got a mothership here in the center on a hybrid coil, and you can see that he's got the Clapton frames, and he Claptoned over the stack of ribbon. Stellar work. Taking another look at what Simon did here. You look at these Claptons that he has as the frames, you could see that he parallel fused these, or force fused into them, and he used two separate alloys. It looks like he has stainless steel and he has nichrome 80 next to each other. And the color patterns that come out of that when you mix the alloys like that are just amazing. Killer work, Simon. Killer. As usual, I expected to see nothing less. Kyle Griffiths. He's got he calls this a Staggerton Chord Micro Helix variation. So he twisted up the frames and he clapped in them, then twisted them, and he's got a core wire of a Staggerton. So he has a stack of ribbon inside of here that he parallel fused, and he removed one of the parallel wires, added frames, and fused back over it. That makes you a Staggerton variant, and he turned around and used it as a core wire. Fantastic. And this is a beautiful Helix Coil. Let's take another look at another photo here. Look at this. Just, you can see again where he's mixing the alloys, and he's going to get really, really, really nice color patterns out of that. The alloys will color up differently and create a beautiful pattern. Awesome work, dude. Awesome work. Paul Witten here has a corrugated SSFC. He's got the core wires claptoned on the inside. He has the ribbon that's corrugated claptoned as well. So we see no core wires. Fantastic work. Let's take another look at one that's colored up. Look at that. This is the beginning colors. When you start introducing color and pulsing with stainless steel, you get these beautiful golds that start turning into a nice red, like an auburn red, and then they'll go into a violet, into the purples. Just, I love sitting there pulsing coils and watching the colors. So Paul Witten, nice job on corrugated SSFCs, beautiful colors. I wanted to show this one. Beautiful colors, man. That's what I'm talking about. When people sit and take the time to pulse these colors out, you got the purples and the blues, and the corrugated wire in the middle hasn't had a chance to start pulsing colors out of it yet. It looks like he's slightly starting to get some golds in there. Fantastic, fantastic. So Kevin DeFore, he did an Inception build. It looks like he's got, he made two core stagger fused Claptons, and he skip fused those, and he fused back into them and put them together. That's the outer wrap on his Enigma coil. And he's got a 3-core SSFC, and he did some skip fusing here. It's interesting here, the fuse pattern that he has on the SFC down below. You can see that he's got two of the stagger wires next to each other, and then he fused. So it's a skip fuse, but there's no gap in the middle. Really, really cool. I dig it, man. Good job, Kevin. So Matt Fletcher, he is a moderator of the Coil Wars Facebook group. He's part of my staff. And look at the build that he did here. He's got a Helix build. He's got the frame wires helixed. It looks like as if he took the ribbon and tried doing a Razorback Enigma over it, but it's a little wavy. Interesting. He's got the helix wires under it, so he helixed it, and then he ran that Enigma, that Razorback Enigma looking fuse over the top. Very good job. Let's take a look at some of the colored ones. Look at the colored patterns in here, and I didn't even notice that. Look inside the core wire that he has here. He's got looks like ribbon. 2 stacks of ribbon, 4-ply on each side. He skip fused those and then put them together and fused them together, and he used those as the cores. Again, you can see where he used 2 different alloys where he did his Clapton on the frames. You see the blue and the purples next to each other. It looks like he used a combination of nichrome and stainless steel. And you can go back and look at these builds in the Facebook group. They're pinned on the top, and you'll find the links for the master tier and for the beginner tier, the beginner and intermediate tier. So feel free to head back over to the group and open those up and take a real good look at all the builds. I'm not showing all the photos. I'm just going over a couple of each build here. Gabriel Serra. Look at this. He's got a alien Suka over the top. They call it a Suka alien. He's got the core wires that are fused as well, and he's got the Suka alien fused over the top of that as well. Beautiful colors, beautiful install, beautiful photo. Very nice. Very, very nice. Look at this. Look at the nice up-close photo, crispy, clear photo. You can see all the intricacy that he's got into this. Very, very nice build. He's got a Suka on the outside and a Suka alien in the middle. So, and I didn't even notice that looking at it. And I'm looking at this on the computer screen. So, really, really nice build, man. Really nice build. I dig it. The golds, the purples, the blues. Full spectrum. Beautiful. Mass coils. This man is absolutely insane. He's got to be one of the best builders in the world. I'd be shitting my pants if I had to go up against this guy. And look at this madness that he has going on here. Look inside. You see the Clapton cores. You see the Clapton stitch. He's got, man, it's an Enigma Inception interlock Enigma. Just wow. Look at this. Absolutely stunning. He's got the inner cores. Again, he's contrasted what looks to be stainless steel and nichrome parallel fused with each other on the inside of this. He's got a stainless steel stitch going through his Enigma, which should be nichrome 80 by the looks of it. Just beautiful. He's got the pinks and everything going on that transition into the violets, the blues. He's another builder that's part of the Resistance crew, my old crew that I was on. Them guys are just maniacs over there. So you can expect to see phenomenal work from Mass Coils throughout this build off. The man is insane, absolutely insane, very inspiring, and just awesome. I look forward to seeing every post that he puts up because everything is mind blowing I see from this guy. As I just brought up Mass Coils, he was the first place in week one. He was the first place. The judges selected Mass Coils to be the top build of that weekly challenge, the Micro Clapton Challenge, and Grigoris Stephanopoulos is the second place. This build here, it got him a bye week, just like Mass Coils got his bye week. This is a very, very creative build. You don't see stuff like this all the time. He did a phenomenal job. This is part of the reason why I said it don't have to fit under the cap. It just allows people to go balls to the walls and create some art, and that's what this is all about. If we wanted to keep vaping coils that offer maximum flavor, we can stop at interlocking frame staple aliens, staggered staple fused Claptons. More of the basic intermediate builds are going to maximize flavor. Stuff like this is art. Absolutely stunning. Look at that. Look at the colors. Look at, man, just stunning work. I could look at this all day. I really could. Gustavo Lopez, he did a Micro Clapton Mohawk Alien. That's what he calls it up here in the specs. Let's look for another picture. Take a look at that. Nice colors, decent install. You could do a little bit more work on your photography, but he's got some twisted Micro Claptons in the inside, staged inside of these Mohawks. You can see his core wires inside are also Claptoned up, and so there's no exposed core wires showing. Stunning work, my man. Good job, Gustavo. Dominic, it looks like he has stitched. Yeah, it looks like he has this stitched. It's a interlocking Enigma, and he has it stitched. So let's pop into another photo and show you. That's a nice close-up there. You look inside, you see that the core wires inside are Claptoned. Good job, man. Good job. Joshua Chilton. Check this out, man. Look what he did. He said 5-core SFC over. He's got 40 gauge stainless steel, 40 gauge N90 over 30 gauge N80, skip fuse in the middle and fused together with 40 gauge N80 to make the 10-core SFC. So he's got a 10-core running as a bridge, running from the one coil to the other. This is like a bridge hybrid, if you ask me. It's a badass build. And then he's got that other little Clapton coil thing going on over here. It looks like he fused ribbon and made a SSFC out of ribbon by the looks of it. Yeah, look at that, man. Stunning. He's got it all wicked up. Beautiful work, man. Good job, Joshua. Nailed it. Matt Millen's only been building for about 3 or 4 months. I feel absolutely terrible that we had to take him out of the beginner intermediate tier and put him in the advanced master tier. He was on that borderline of being advanced, and we had to take him out of that other tier and put him over here. As you see, Dan Guri, my admin, had to repost his submission in the other tier. So I can't zoom into his photo, but he did a killer shot here. He did a killer build here. He staged it. He's got, it looks like maybe like a 10 core. I can't tell by the smaller photos. And then he broke that 10 core down. Okay, that would be an 8 core if I'm looking at 4 core and 4 core. So I'm assuming that would be an 8 core in the middle, and then he broke it down and fused it. Tricky work, man. Tricky work. Good job.
Okay, so what I did there was I had an interlocking frame staple alien sitting around, and I made a helix. I made a tiger helix. I took 0.5 ribbon wire, I folded that in half. I took 42 gauge, both of those nichrome 80, I fused over it with the 42 gauge. I took 26 gauge stainless steel 316L, I twisted those together. I then took some 38 gauge and I helixed into the grooves, and that's what makes a helix. And I followed along the groove with stainless steel 304, 38 gauge, and then I took nichrome 80, 38 gauge, and I made another pass. Typically with two wires, when you twist them together, you have to make two passes with a helix wire, and that's what makes your helix. You can then turn around and take those helix wires and put ribbon in the middle and you have a helix staple. However, this was just a tiger helix, and I parallel wrapped that inside of the interlocking frame staple alien. Pretty much it's a staged heating coil. I wrapped it on the inside of it. That helix wire is going to heat up before the frame staple alien does, and it makes for a good vape. The blend of the stainless steel in there with the nichrome 80 in there, it pushes different flavor notes out of your juice. It's fantastic. All right, so that's a wrap on this week's edition of Quarantine Build Off. Until next week, peace out.